Welcome back to the SAICA Biz Impact Podcast. Yes, we are at Sandton Convention Center where we are actually hosting a number of small businesses that are showcasing their products that are produced locally. We are driving localization in South Africa. That is the agenda that probably SA is actually putting in today. And I am joined by an important guest, a very key member of probably SA, Ngidi MaKhumalo. Please, welcome on board.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, she's the Chief Marketing Officer, proudly SA, and we're going to really just be talking to her just around the event, just around the summit and the expo, the impact that it has to the economy.
Yeah.
You know, what impact does the summit have? You know, just not only Gauteng or Sandton, but Gauteng and nation. Because I saw some guys coming from Free State.
Yes.
I saw some people
KZN,
coming from
Limpopo. Yes.
All right. What impact does this event have?
So it has a huge impact. You know, for us, we are clear that our summit and expo is not a tick box exercise.
That's not.
And then we move on.
This is big.
You know, so even beyond the summit, those that are here, we engage them, we interact with them, we take them to other access to market opportunities. But come back to the summit. So even prior to the summit, we arrange what we call a matchmaking program, where we get the big business that you see here, and we match them up with small business that are selling different things. It might be for the automotive sector, maybe the oils and the, you know, that you need for the tires for the automotive sector, or something, you know, in the healthcare space, or even hair care or skin care. Bespoke furniture that is manufactured by South Africans, like furniture that looks amazing. It could be any product. We do the matchmaking thing, appointments. And, you know, during the course of today and tomorrow, these big businesses come here to an appointment. They see the product, they engage with the manufacturer of that product, and we urge them and encourage them to transact. They mustn't just look at the product and say, well done, nice. They must transact, absorb these small companies into their ecosystem, shelving, you know, in retail stores. I mean, just now we took a march, a protest march, but a very peaceful, dignified one, with the clothing, textile, footwear, leather sector, where, you know, our local designers, well known, and those that are in the, you know, coming in, and all of that, and the purpose of that march was fighting illicit trading. Illicit trading. They replicate the brands and the names of our designers and sell them back to our consumers at 20 rand. And illicit trading literally kills our jobs. Illicit trading steals jobs from South Africans. Illicit trading and counterfeit closes. You know, closes factories in South Africa. And so that march was really to talk to that. But coming back to the access to market, this is an access to market platform. Because we often view that it's one thing for you to create a great smartphone in South Africa, but if you have no one to sell that product to, it defeats the purpose. You will shut down, you will lay off staff, it'll, you know, contribute to our unemployment problem in South Africa, and then we will have more social ills because people are desperate to survive. They'll do anything to be able to survive. And so we understand as well that the private sector is not going to be able to absorb every graduate into their ecosystem. There's simply not enough jobs. And so what must happen, my brother, to the people who are skilled, who've gone to training, and they can't find jobs? They have to start businesses. And we, as proudly South African and all other entities, have a responsibility to ensure that these access to market opportunities to these small businesses exist at no cost to them. At no cost to them.
That's amazing.
Every
That's
business you see here
amazing.
did not pay a cent.
That is rare to
The
find.
branding, the names on the fascia board, the back walls, all of this is, nobody paid for except sponsors and partners, of course.
Yes.
But I mean, the small businesses, not a cent. All they had to do was to get into their cars, spend money on petrol,
Show up.
and with the sellable brand.
It's amazing because we've interviewed number of young people, by the way, like 90% it was young people,
Nice.
like 20-year-olds, 23, 20-year-olds.
The youth.
The youth, all right? It was amazing to really see them saying, this is the product that I have made.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about the uptake of South African consumers.
Yeah.
With this campaign, with Proudly South African running this campaign, this is the home of buy local,
Yes.
as you have said,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
What has been the uptake of South African consumers to say, now I'm well educated or well informed, that, okay, I can make now a decision
Yeah.
between buying an import,
And
where
a-
I'm like there's no value creation, and buy a t-shirt that is done by Elliot Sitole,
Sure,
for instance. All right?
sure.
How's been the uptake in terms of since you've started to do a summit and expo like this?
If you had asked me this question 8 years ago when I started, I would have said to you, oh, we have problems. Because generally South Africans then, even now, there's still, that's a reality.
Yeah.
Where South Africans feel or think that any product that is manufactured locally is inferior. But all these big brands that you find at Diamond Walk, for example, no one questions
No one
them.
questions anything.
That guy,
Yeah.
Diamond Walk, will say a pair of jeans is 60,000 rand. They pay. But if David Tlale or Palesa Mukubung, Mansu,
And it was here
Oh.
2 minutes ago, by the way.
you know what? Oh, really? If those guys say this dress I'm wearing is worth 3,000, there's a riot. They are overly priced,
Yeah, overpriced.
bad quality, Fong Kong Bayasiropa. But no one questions that guy Diamond Walk. We've had arguments in the public domain where they say Maxhosa is too expensive. I'm like, my brother, if you can't afford Maxhosa, go to Mr. Price.
Yeah.
Who must change the business model?
He's got a target
and why?
market.
Yeah.
He's got a certain
And
market.
Mr. Price, I'm not picking on them. Mr. Price is a member of the campaign, and the localization turnaround strategy. I buy Mr. Price, and I look cute, my brother. When I walk, they ask me, where did you buy that? And it's Mr. Price. So if you can't afford Maxhosa, leave him alone.
Yeah.
The business model works for him, and he's able to sustain his business and keep his employees employed. So, there's that. We have scientific data, rather.
Okay.
And I'm glad you said you interviewed about 9 companies. We have small companies. We have scientific data where some of those companies, even beyond the summit, will say, today I'm wearing Chepa.
What? Who?
Chepa.
Chepa, okay.
Yeah, Chepa
Fantastic.
Streetwear.
Yes.
And Chepa has been a member of the campaign for the last 10 years. The last 10 years. And he now, through this kind of situation, because this is a networking situation, as a small business, you meet big people, but you can't come here and sleep and hope for Jesus to take the wheel.
no. You have to walk
You
the
must
floor.
walk around and
Walk the
sell your
floor.
brand
Yeah,
and do your thing.
Yeah.
And Chepa is that guy. Today, he supplies uniform for 3 big banks in South Africa. I'm just mentioning that. You know what I mean?
These are some of the success stories
But it's
coming
gathered
out from
here.
this.
And there's many. There's Komoto, who owns a pizza, restaurant shop at Protea Mall. Affiliation with Proudly South African, where he showcases here, then he goes to other things that we do, like Delicious Festival and whatever. He's able to generate so much revenue that he invests back into his business, pays off his debt. Those are his words, it's not me. Pays off his debts and managed to open another shop at Protea Mall.
Yeah.
And when you open another shop, that's more jobs. You are employing more people. You know what I mean? But it stems from here. Being affiliated with Proudly South African, paying us 500 Rand a year for this platform and more. And then you have carte blanche to use our logo on your product And because that gives you credibility.
Yes. I
Already,
have one, yeah.
that gives you credibility. Before you
Yeah.
even open your mouth, if you just show a potential customer,
Yeah.
it's a done deal. Yeah.
That's amazing, because at the end of the day, that is what government is promoting. You say, let us buy locally. And I must say, I would say you are the mother of this event, by the way. As much
Thank
as
you.
I can remember, I've always seen you as that person who's pushing this event to say,
Bangizusisi we local, babes we local.
local, exactly. Babes we local.
Babes we
You've
local.
done amazing with this event.
Thank you.
And I like what you're saying in terms of even the affordability, because I was going to ask in terms of, so if now you've just shared all of these success stories, how does one become the member of Proudly SA?
Yeah.
All right? And is it only on goods? What about the service? Like, this
Fair
is
enough.
SAICA. I've got a number
Yeah.
of accountants
Yes.
that are owning their own businesses there. They've employed 100% South African locals. They're using most of the stuff. So just take us through, just educate high level in terms of, is goods? Yes, clear. And services as well, how does it work around it?
So we are a member-based campaign. Everybody who's showcasing here today
Yeah.
is a member of the campaign.
Yeah.
So nobody came with a product that they created 5 months ago last year and they're like, can I come in? It's a benefit
Yeah.
for those who have paid that 500 fee.
Okay.
So anybody can join. It's product and service. So
And
you're right,
service.
SAICA
And service.
and service.
Yeah, like
in
that.
fact, in our database, we have IP companies, and that are members, where at times when we do our webinars and our business forums, businesses, some small businesses in the room will say, how do I protect my IP?
Yeah.
We then work with the IP companies that are in our database,
Interesting.
pay them for their service,
Yeah.
so they come and address an audience that want to know, how do I protect my idea? So it's both services and products. So it could be hotel chains. I mean, a hotel sells a service.
Yes.
Hotel
Yes,
chains, lodges.
Hospitality. Hospitality
Advertising
across,
companies that just wants an affiliation and an endorsement
Okay.
from Proudly SA for them to be able to
Yeah.
use the logo. But we vet people, ne?
Sure.
Because we I always say
Quality
we are
is
so
important, yeah.
we're not rich and proudly South African. But we are very broke. We just don't look like our problems.
This doesn't look like. This doesn't
No.
look like
I don't know.
correct?
I'm very broke, but I look like $1 million. But what? So our credibility, our currency is in our credibility. So we vet the people that are affiliated with us. You go through a vetting process, but it's not meant to frustrate
No,
anybody.
rigorous,
We
yes.
just want to know that you operate locally for
Yes,
sure.
yeah.
You don't import your T-shirts and then you just put a label that says local. And so that's important. But we understand that when you make your product like a T-shirt, there's raw materials that you may have to buy from India.
Yeah.
Because as South Africa, we don't have enough product.
Makes sense.
So that's fine.
Yeah.
We're just saying 50% of the making of that golf shirt has to happen here.
Yeah.
The second thing is quality. It's one thing for us to say local is lekker, but it can't be Fong Hong.
Absolutely.
It needs to be good quality. The last two issues are softer issues.
Okay.
Environmental standards.
Yes.
Do you are you aware of the environment? And then labor laws. Do you conform to the labor laws of the country? If
Correct.
that's
Correct.
big ups,
Correct.
you've joined the movement.
Okay. So Sabi, I'm hoping that you're going to get a number of people that want to become
Yes.
members of the organization. And we're hoping, ladies and gentlemen, that you've heard from them directly in terms of some of the success stories. It's not about just becoming a member, then that's it.
No.
You have to be active as well.
Yes.
If you want to say, how do I create value out of my 500
May I
rand?
make an example?
Yeah.
I like where you're going.
Yeah.
So my principle, okay, or analogy is that we encourage our members. We say it's a doctor-patient relationship.
Yeah.
My brother, if you wake up today and you're not feeling well, you're going to do something about it, ne?
Absolutely.
Your doctor is not going to throw the bones
Yeah.
and say, amongst my patients,
Yes.
I think this one is the one who's not feeling well.
Yes.
So the analogy there is that you as a member, you need to get up and come to us as Proudly South African and say, you know, I think my business is struggling here a little bit, or I saw something, I think you can be able to open the door for me. They won't necessarily hear me.
You already have a marketplace, by the way, right?
You know what I mean? Those that don't wait and then you complain that,
they're not doing anything for me.
Doctor patient.
Okay, also, before I let you go, let's talk about the marketplace. We have the marketplace where people, they can put their products. One of the ladies that we had here said, no, the product is not there now. They buy from Proudly SA. I was like, what is that? They're like, yeah. So about that as well for someone who's
quickly
watching.
about that.
Yeah.
So you join us, and we know that many companies, because the online shopping model is a phenomenon. Ne? I'm still old school. I want to go to a shopping center, touch the product. Yes, and fit it. Because I don't want to order size 7 shoe and then a 2 is delivered. And then there's a more. Anyway, but I'm not discouraging online because it's convenient and all of that. So we understand that many products will have their own online situation. But can you imagine you have your own, but then you also absorbed into the Proudly South African, situation with a minimal fee to pay, obviously, around the issues of courier and all, because somebody has to pay for that. But you don't pay to use the platform. It's a benefit for you. And remember, when you are on our platform, we have a responsibility to market you. Put you out on. So, our social.
I like this education. I truly like this education. I know you have been hammering. You have been on a number of, webcasts as well, even before. When I was researching about you guys, you have been hammering just education about this. And I think there's still that gap. There's still a lot more. I want our consumers, so that's why we're here, to ensure that your message is not only just via you, but different channels as well.
Maybe we can have a partnership where we visit you every 3 months.
Brilliant. We've got a done deal.
Yeah.
All right.
I've just thrown my boss under the bus. He must just pay for it.
I like that.
He won't fire me. He must just pay for it. It's for the good of the campaign.
Brilliant.
Every 3 months.
It's a done deal. Just your last parting shot to our consumers that are actually watching right now. What would be your last parting shot?
My last parting shot is, if you're not here, where are you? Pete, this is the place to be. But don't despair. We are on social media platforms. Just follow us. There's a lot of camaraderie happening here. It's been a buzz of activities. It's been amazing. So go on social media. And also, I think my request, my parting shot is this. The next time you go and purchase anything, just for a second, stop and try and make a purchasing decision in favor of a local product. We have a local product for everything you can think of, because when you do that, after you've purchased that one thing and it's local, you've essentially contributed to that manufacturer still operating in South Africa and still taking care of the jobs in that. Because when you choose to buy all the time things that have been brought into the country from Brazil, simply you create a job and a demand in Brazil.
That's why, ladies and gentlemen, she is the marketer of the year. I would say she is the marketer of the decade. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us. We truly appreciate, and we're looking forward to build a solid relationship between us, the SAICA Biz Impact Podcast, and Proudly South African as well.
Thank you.
And let us encourage people to buy goods that are localized.
Thank you so much. Because local is like, right? Yabong hospital. Yabong Makhumalo.